Hello, you lovely people, and again, welcome back to the channel. Um, Digital nomads, they gonna do a special visa for them here in the Philippines for professional digital nomads. And the visa, if you qualify and you have the requirements, it allows you to stay here for 2 years, doing whatever you're doing. And it's saying something about keeping up with other countries that are allowing this to happen. Because the tourist visa, you can't work. So you can't be a digital nomad on a tourist visa legally here. So this visa that they're going to implement, I think we spoke about in March. I don't know when it's going to be implemented, but yeah, it's a good idea, isn't it? You know. So that's just like one little thing. Another little thing is talking about is it worth having a girlfriend when you're here? Because it's not easy. Filipinos in general are not the easiest people to get on with at times. They're very loving, some, very loving, loyal, but it's challenging sometimes, very challenging. And I've spoke about this before, the same as many other vloggers have probably spoke about it as well. It's mainly their way and how they actually are, like the communication thing. You know, some things that is of a concern to me is of no concern to my wife. My problems to her are totally irrelevant, and she's just like, why are you worrying about something? You know, it's nothing to worry about, take it easy. You know, not in them words, but that's what she means. And this house proud thing, some Filipinos are very house proud, some are not so. And I was listening to John yesterday on his channel talking about it, and it's true. You know, sometimes you'll do something what they ask you to do, and you've done it, and to them it's wrong. I get that one because I do it myself. So now I don't do it because everything that I was told to do, I did. It was wrong. So what was the point of me putting the effort in the first place? So you know, I think living in the Philippines, I think would be equally better. Equally the same, if not better, being on your own. Because you wouldn't have that frustration of the miscommunication. You wouldn't have that misguided concept that some of them have, like, you know, they are the best at cooking. Some of them are, by the way. My wife isn't. She's good at cooking her food, but I do like some Filipino food, but I don't like it all. And that's nothing to do with my wife's cooking. It's just to do with my taste. So she does cook a lot of food every day, more than what I could ever eat. But what she does, my wife, she'll cook food and she'll cook it for 2 days. And which is good because you're only using their one set of gas. So I suppose it's a bit of a saving that way. But the food that she cooks is, it's okay for me sometimes, but there always seems to be salt and oil, which I'm trying to cut down on all that rubbish. But I do like a lot of Filipino food, and my wife can cook some good Filipino food. Now, when it comes to pies and things like that, she's got absolutely no idea, same as me. So I haven't had a good pie for a long time, actually. I'd die for a pork pie. So being on your own out here, I think the world would be your oyster out here. And I just don't mean the sun, sea and sex and all that kind of thing. I just mean you can do what you want, providing you're within the law and providing you behave yourself, because this is not a country for anybody behaving badly. No country is there for anybody behaving badly, but more so here because it's very strict. You might think that the people are friendly, which they are, and the police would be very talkative, but you break the law and someone makes an allegation against you here, being a foreigner, especially if you're on a tourist visa, you're in shit street. And you truly are. Getting old as well. It doesn't frighten me at all. It doesn't bother me. I mean, nobody wants to grow old. Of course they don't. It's not something that is generously favoured by some. Me, it's not. You know, I don't want to get old, but yes, I'll get old, but it doesn't really bother me. What bothers me about this is the Filipino way of thinking. Filipino man, Filipino woman. When you're with a partner, they think it's their obligation, and I suppose in a way it might be, where you take care of each other through thick and through thin, rich or poor, through, you know, death till you part. But I don't like the idea of me getting old and my wife having to take care of me. I don't like that idea. You know, if the worst come to the worst. So what would you do? Well, don't know. But I don't like the idea if ever I become sick, had a stroke or something like that, and I was incapacitated, couldn't go to the toilet on my own, couldn't dress myself and clean myself. I hate that thought. I hate that thought. And I've always enjoyed my own company. So for me, it wouldn't matter to me if I was to come here at the beginning, you know, and be single. You know, that wouldn't have bothered me. But circumstances happened, and you know, like I ended up, you know, meeting Mia and getting married, having children. Two things I said I would never do again was have any more children and get married again, but I did both of them, and I'm happy I did. But I would think I would have been equally happy if I didn't get married and I'd have been on my own here, because I would have probably have had less stress from families, and I wouldn't have had this difficultness communicating with my wife sometimes. And it is a frustration, because what you're talking about is very important to you, but to them it's not. And when they don't take no notice of you, or they don't acknowledge, it's kind of very, very frustrating. So what do you do? Well, I just keep my mouth shut now. That's what I do. Best life here, be a digital nomad. That's what I say, digital nomad. And that 2-year visa, I think, is extendable for another year, I think. I'm not sure. Do you know what? To be young again, to be 30s, let's just say 30s, and you've got plenty of money, so you don't have to work, and you come to a country like this, God, the world would be your oyster, wouldn't it? Buy a boat, you know, have a little house down by the beach or something like that. Do whatever you wanted, you know. Live a life of sin if you choose. Up to you. But what a great way, wouldn't it? It would be a great way. And instead, we have to wait until the best part of our life is gone, or the younger years, the more active years. But I'm still active though. You know, I still do a little bit of exercise. Not weightlifting, of course. I'll snap my arms. But walking and things like that. Swimming in the ocean. Do a bit of that as well. Not as much as I did because I'm a bit far away from it. So the Philippines is. Would it be my choice of country 20 years ago to come? Probably not, because I didn't really know much about the Philippines. I didn't really know much about it. I just knew it was a country that at that time was going through difficult times. Would I have gone... See, the place to go for the Europeans is always in Europe, like Spain, you know, Spain, France, Italy, you know, Greece, Malta, Gibraltar, all of them sort of places. So for foreigners to become expats in the Philippines is, I don't think it's that much of a recent thing. You know, maybe the last 10 years ago, 15 years ago, people have been starting to come here to live. But I think more so now. And that's because these places in Europe are very expensive to retire in. Here, not so much. It's not as cheap here as what it was, but it's still cheap to live here. Regardless of how you want to live, of course, you know. We just live a frugal life, which is nice. We like that. No need to live a big extravagant life if you don't want to do that. And you know, we don't want to do that. You know, we just enjoy pottering around, doing what we do, going to the city, going to some restaurants from time to time, and sometimes going to different islands, which is not far from here. Aliguay, Silinog Aliguay is only an hour away on my board. Silinog, 2 hours away. Or Selinog. Is it Selinog or Silinog? I always get that mixed up. So I can understand how a lot of people fall in love with this place temporarily. I can understand that, because when the novelty of anything wears off, but especially when the novelty of living in a tropical country with friendly people and a laxy-daisy way of life, when that novelty wears off, and then you start thinking of your Western ways, where you can't get what you want, if that's your mindset. Me, I can live on anything, really. You know, I don't need the Western food. I love the Western food, but I don't need it. I can get by on the equivalents, like the pork and beans here, things like that. It's similar to the UK, but it's not exactly the same. But there's not that much difference where it should bother anybody. Bacon, it's not the same, but it's good. It's okay. It's very thin here, but it's okay. It's not enough to bother me. But it bothers some of the foreigners after a time. And I think one of the biggest things that bother the foreigners here is their partners. The lack of understanding with each other. And I don't think it's intentional. I just think it's just the way that they are. Like, what bothers you is irrelevant to them, and what bothers them is irrelevant to me sometimes. Like my wife, she'll say something to me and I think, where did that come from? And it's something that just comes out of the blue. It's not something that's relevant at the time. And I'm trying to think of an example. I can't give one. But it's like with the house now. Now, there is lots of things to be doing. There is lots of money to be spent on my house yet. And I'm thinking of the major things, the things of cost. My wife's thinking of coloured tiles already. Mira, tiles is away yet, 6 months away before because that's the final thing. And it's things like that, you know, the things that is at the end of the job, all the niceties, she's thinking about. She's not thinking of all the other bits and pieces that's got to be done. That's going to cost the money. And I don't think many Filipinos have a sense of value of money, you know, because and I don't mean this any bad way, but because you're their husband or their partner, they just assume that everything's going to be bought and paid for, which it generally is. But money is not very easily earned. It's easily spent. Any fool can spend money. So they don't think, well, you know, Stephen will do this, Stephen will do that, get the tiles, do this, blah, blah. All this costs money. And I try and budget sometimes. Of course I do, you know. I think, well, should I get the workmen in this week, or should I save a little bit of money and go out somewhere? But my wife just thinks I can do all of it. She thinks that, you know, she doesn't think that it's going to run out, you know. But I must say, she is a good girl like that, you know. And she saves money herself. My change and little bits and pieces, because she does a little bit of work, Mira, sometimes, only just a little bit. And it's for the barangay captain down here. She'll go and she does the computer. She does the printouts of the people wanting like a barangay clearance. So she'll go and do that sometimes. Not often, only as and when needed. And I think she gets 400 pesos each time she does it. I never see that. I don't want to see that, but that's never spoke about, you know. Her money's never spoke about, and God knows how much she's got saved up, because she saves money. She's a proper saver. She saves everything. Spends mine, saves hers, but then it's good because then she goes out and buys Kaylin things and things for herself, which she thinks I don't notice. The new things. And new clothes, oh, I've had this for weeks. But the Philippines is a great place, people. It really is. And we're all here to try and make the best of these later years in our life. For us people of our age and retirees, we don't need hassles, you know. We don't need aggravation and bad dramas. You know, we just need to be left alone to our own devices, making friends along the way, and having a bloody good time, whatever we decide to do. And I'm having my good time. Yes, I have ups and downs, of course. Everyone has ups and downs. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, you'll have ups and downs, even if you've got unlimited amounts of cash. Your problems probably wouldn't be the same as ours, but you still have problems nevertheless. Let's just enjoy these times. Enjoy your Filipina, enjoy your single life, enjoy your digital nomadity if that's what you do. Enjoy the sun, sea and sex if that's what you want to do. Just whatever you do, try and enjoy it, because the clock is ticking, people. The biological clock is ticking and it's getting closer. At my age, I'm closer to that side than to the fresh side. So I tend to try not to let things bother me, things of irrelevance anyway. Things that is not going to make my life better. I try not to spend too much thought processes on that. And I just live for the now, and I live for tomorrow. And I look forward to a relaxing future here. And yeah, I will die here. There is no doubt in my mind. This will be the country that I will be laid to rest in. And why not? Because when you're dead, it doesn't matter. At least here, I mean, I won't know about it, but here they have this tradition on, I can't remember what it's called. It's Halloween in our country. But they come to your grave and do this and do that and have a party, you drink, leave cigarettes and leave drink and leave food on your grave and have a bloody good time. So you aren't forgotten. In England, 3 months, you forgot. No one goes to your grave and tends to your grave, or not many. So this will be the country in which I die. And why not? You know, why not? And a lot of you have been saying about me being wanting to do my citizenship here. And I think I'm going to do it. Why not? You know, people say, why give up your British citizenship? Why? There could be a bloody nuclear war there soon, the way things are going with Russia. I've heard something there about the World War III. Oh, look, he's my little boy. He's my little boy, look. Did you see, and Jackie, did you see me? Hey, hello, people. Hello, you lovely people. Oh, Mama! Oh, Mama's up there. What's Mama doing? Putting washing out. Oh, no, here she is. Here's Jackie, people, who you like to see. And my little boy. Come, they'll be going up there now. Say hello, people.
Hello, people.
Yeah.
Mama,
oh, here's Mama coming. Come on then. Thank you, people, for having a listen. And whatever you do, wherever you are, my little boy, active. Have a bloody good time and have a beautiful day. Okay. Well, I can't. I've got to go in here. You can go to the forest with Mammy. Watch the snakes. Have you got your rag around? Oh, there she is. There she is. Thank you, people. Take good care. God bless you all. Bye bye.